Hey guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor channel. My name is Ryan. If you've been tuning into my previous videos, we've talked a lot about where to invest and where potentially you might not want to invest. The best place to put your money for not only tax shelter, a lot of different avenues will give you tax shelter, but what we like to stress on this channel is how to preserve that wealth going forward. And a lot of misconceptions that you'll hear online about where to put your money or where to make money overnight, or what penny stock to buy. A lot of that is talking about what has happened in the past or what has worked for a lot of different other people. And again, I want to stress that may not be the best for you. Why independent investing? Why is that important? Because it's available. If you have a home computer, you can gain access to the market just like the professionals. We don't live in an era anymore where you have to go sit down with a professional to gain that access. That access is available to anybody who has internet connection and can get connected to the computer, to the home computer. Because listen, guys, trust me. The Microsoft that you can buy as an independent investor is the same Microsoft that these major institutions are buying, and it gives you that same access to preserve your wealth going forward. And again, if you've been previously tuning into my videos, I've talked a lot about where to invest and where potentially, not to invest. I'm a big advocate of the independent investor. I'm a big advocate of investing on your own to minimize or even eliminate fees for yourself, because going forward, those impacts on those accounts are insurmountable, and it's difficult to see when you first start investing in those accounts the impacts that those fees will have in your account. And the only way to ensure that you preserve the maximum amount of wealth going forward is to make sure that you're doing your investing on your own. So, what we'd like to talk about on this particular channel is the how. How do we go about starting? We know where to start, but how is it that we can find an extra $25 in our budget? How is it that we can find an extra $50 every couple weeks to put into a systematic program to allow those accounts to grow over time and be contributing to those accounts as those accounts go forward? And so this particular channel is going to be called Goals. Okay, it's a stepped approach to entering into the market in a calculated, strategic manner that really anybody can start if they're just willing to take that very first step. Listen, if you like the video, please do not hesitate to hit the thumbs up button at the bottom. If you know somebody that could potentially benefit from the information of just sitting down for 10 or 15 minutes and getting a little bit of financial education. I know a lot of people like the glitz and glamour and the get-rich schemes overnight. You won't hear any of that from me, but hopefully you'll try to ground truth a lot of this information that I've been talking about and have learned over evolving through a lot of different downturns in the market over the last 2.5 decades in the market. And maybe you want to hit the share link and share this with somebody who could benefit from the information. I encourage you to do so. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be coming out with weekly videos on different topics. I'll be getting more in depth. You need to go back and you need to start from the beginning. I build my presentations the way we build investment portfolios. We start from the ground structure and we work forward. We build the foundation first. We have to know where to invest first before we can start talking about how we're going to invest. So please enjoy. This session is going to be called Goals, and it's going to be a stepped approach to how we go ahead and start entering the market and meeting goals. Okay, so the first goal for anybody, if you're starting, assuming that you're starting with zero, is to meet that first $1,000 goal. All right, so you're going from a zero to $1,000 goal. Why do we have that goal as number one? There's a couple things that's going to occur between this phase and meeting that first $1,000 monetary goal within that account. What this is going to do is it's going to get you introduced to the market. It's going to get you used to giving up that $25 a month. Because when you go from not investing and just spending your paycheck or living every 2 weeks or every month from paycheck to paycheck, and you haven't paid yourself first, all right, this is going to get you conditioned to not missing that money. If it's $25 every 2 weeks and you say, you know what, I'm ready to start, I'm ready to contribute to the market, and you start to allocate those funds, it's not only going to be about the physical, right, giving up of that $25, but it's also going to be the mental conditioning. So this, I cannot overstress enough how important and how transitional this phase is when we go from a non-investor to an investor, and we're starting that systematic process. During this first goal, this is going to be where you start the account. This is where you're going to start funding the account. This is where funds are going to start to enter into that tax preserved vehicle. And this is going to be probably the most important step that you ever take in your financial career as an independent investor, is when you take that first step. And that is going to take place within goal number 1, where we're going from $0 invested to $1,000 invested, tax protected, and start that wealth preservation going forward. All right, it's also going to get you used to going from a non-investor to now, after you meet this first goal, now you've got $1,000 invested in the market. You are an investor, and it's going to set you up for sound results later, learning through some of the lessons. Hopefully from this to this, you've gone through a few market downturns. You've gone through a few red days in the market, and it's kind of got you used to not being emotional. You need to drive out the emotion when you enter into this particular phase. And this is where a lot of people get lost. All right, when they want to take their first $1,000 and they want to invest and they want to make quick cash, they get burned really bad and they never want to invest again. All right, this stepped approach allows us to prepare correctly to enter somebody into the market that does not have a lot of practice in the market. Okay, so the second step, once we've met our $1,000 goal, and we'll get here quick, guys. Look, $100 a month, within 10 months, you're already there. So if you can find that within your own personal budget, and we'll talk about budgeting ideas in follow-on videos. I just want to set more of a framework of what we're trying to aim to get to as quickly as possible to get you on your way to financial freedom down the line, okay, in your investment future, okay? Again, a lot of what we're talking about here is framework to help you in the future. Okay, take into consideration that not a lot of what I talk about, if anything, is talking about what I've done in the past and how that's going to somehow magically make this happen for you. All right, this is an easy stepped approach that you can take and make for yourself, all right, and help you in your future, so that when you look back over your financial future, you can remember almost to the day when it is you actually started into your investment career. All right. So the second goal is to get up to $10,000, and you think, okay, $10,000, I'll never get there. All right, revisit goal number 1, because if your goal is to get to $10,000 without going through goal number 1, you're never going to get to goal number 2. Never. All right, you have to take a layered approach to investing. You have to. All right, investing has nothing to do with emotion. If you do not prepare correctly to enter the market, all right, and it is a war zone. Okay, investing will humble you to your knees if you don't approach it calculatively and you don't approach it by building the correct foundation in your portfolio to be able to withstand a downturn in the market and be proud of the program that you've initially put into place. Okay, so step number 2 to get to this $10,000 marker is huge. You've entered into the 10K club. All right. Anybody investing here, and for the folks that follow me online, you're going to get to this mark almost within your first year immediately, okay? This $10,000 mark is going to take a little bit of time. Again, the more time that you have, the quicker you should start investing, okay? Now, a couple things have occurred over this. This might be the time when you decide to step up. If you've got a raise at work and that $25 just isn't cutting it anymore and you want to increase it to 50, 100, again, I need to get you to that $458 per month as quickly as we can, which is your $5,500 maximum contribution. I can't stress that enough. Once we start to cash protect dollars as quickly as possible, the more that money can run and accumulate wealth for you going forward. Okay. Now the third goal here is step to $50,000. Okay. At $50,000, when you're within your self-directed Roth IRA account, the reason I put this on here as a goal is this is when the account starts to recognize you as an elite investor. And you'll start to do away with some of the trivial fees that they charge you under $50,000, like the $4.99 or the $6.99 entry and exit fee to invest in stock. They'll start to give some incentive and start to offer, for example, 30 free trades a month. And this will allow you to maneuver within your account even free of charge. You're starting to become an elite account holder, okay? And you will get here, guys. Again, you have to go with a layered approach. You have to meet your certain steps and goals in succession to enter into the market correctly and allow yourself time to get used to meeting goals. You have to get used to meeting goals, all right? Now, the last one here, we've got the 100K club. Once you get up to the 100K club, you've contributed to the account. You're probably maxing out your account at this particular juncture, okay? And you will get there, okay? I'm not offering things that are magic wands. I'm not telling you that I've got a certain percentage of return over a bull market and that's supposed to help you going forward. Guys, these are real and practical stepped approaches that if you contribute to and you take that first step and you say, I believe that I can do this, that is the beginning to your investment career, and everybody has to take that first step. And on the Independent Investor channel, that is what I stress. I am trying to empower one investor at a time and trying to reduce some of the misnomers in the financial industry that you have to have representation, that you can't represent yourself to have exposure to the market, because that is just not true. And in closing, I would just like to offer, I met this goal a long time ago. I'm in this 100K club, well in excess of the 100K club. The only reason I offer that is to offer this. I don't look at that as some sort of success, or I don't offer that to somehow, validate my position on investments, okay? What I would say is, it took me too long to get here. If you're young in your investment career, start now. Start now and give yourself the opportunity to get to this mark as soon as possible, because it will happen for you if you take a layered, calculative approach and start that account. If you start it with that $25, you're taking that first step into meeting your financial goals one step at a time. Listen, if you've enjoyed the video, please click the thumbs up button at the bottom. If you know somebody out there, I know there's people out there, I want to do a shared word of mouth. If there's anybody out there that can benefit from hearing this financial piece, please share the link. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be putting videos on there at least weekly, be doing specialized shows. I'm going to be giving some insights of my particular portfolio that can help build and give some ideas about cornerstone investing and some of the philosophies that I talk about on my show. Listen, thank you so much for joining, helping me build a team of people and helping me empower one investor at a time. Thank you so much for joining, and good luck in your investment future.